Hello Virgo, and welcome to your Pluto reading here on the Astroflower. I've done the collective reading, and there's an introduction in that collective reading all about Pluto and all about its timing and everything like that. It leaves Capricorn and goes into Aquarius on the 21st of January, and then comes back into Capricorn for the very last time in October, November, around that period there. September, October, November, and then leaves definitively Capricorn and goes into Aquarius. And Capricorn over the last 16 years is all about sort of getting down to the nuts and bolts of how things work. And if it doesn't work perfectly, go back to the beginning and do it all again. Just exposing the truths and bringing things to the surface. And we saw that in the collective reading. So I do have the collective reading still laid out here. So we're going to be pulling the cards on top of the collective reading for you to see how you fit with the collective reading and see how you fit with the collective energy that's going all around you and everything like that. It's then going to be, Pluto's going to be then in Aquarius for the next 20 years, up to 2044. And there is great similarities between Capricorn and Aquarius, but there is, because they share some petals, the same petals, obviously, because they're next to one another in the Astroflower. But at the same time, it gives a completely different perspective on the mechanic or the nuts and bolts that was exposed during Capricorn. And it goes much more into the community of things and stuff like that. And I think this is going to play well for you, Virgo. It's going to allow you to sort of, allow you to indulge yourself in the service of others, which I've been telling you to not do forever. That's why I've been constantly sort of saying, Virgo, put yourself first, put yourself first. And I still think that's true. But here is in the environment of Aquarius is much more tied into the community, into collective, into those sort of things. And your strength here is helping the collective to get to its ambitions. And it's all about the longer term changes that this is going to create within the world around you. But being very consistent, because Pluto is that undercurrent of life. It's not necessarily in your face every day. Although as a Capricorn, I've got to say I've really, really felt it, especially over the last sort of 2 or 3 years. But, for your good selves, it's much more of a undercurrent thing that's going on more than anything else. And it's going to help you sort of to help others develop that community feeling as well. And it will give you that enormous sense of empowerment in a way. And that's what you've just got to be a little bit wary of, that more than anything. That empowerment doesn't overpower you and stop you from doing what you should be doing, because you will feel disappointed in the end, unfortunately. So there's the biggest work for you is that sort of give and take balance in life. Okay? So let's get on with the reading here, and let's just go through it here. We've got the overall energies, the karmic messages for your spiritual path and the energy, your karmic message for your material path and your job, your business and your projects and all those sort of things. Thank you very much for being here with us. I hope you have a lovely reading. Let's just see what's going on. Happiness. Because I'm happy. I've got that tune going through my head. That tune there just rolls on and rolls on and rolls on and rolls on and rolls on. And it almost it's a little bit like your happiness here. And this comes up with the... So it mixes in with the collective on the Four of Wands and the Page of Pentacles. And it's learning about sort of marrying things together. And I think this is to help the community, to help the world around you, and to engage in a world that is much more beneficial, not only for you, but for everybody. I think happiness has got to be the driving force behind it. If you're not having fun, I wouldn't bother doing it, basically. It's also going to shine a big light on you as well and your way of being. And this is where you're going to get that sense of empowerment. So I would just be a little bit wary of that as well. But whatever it is, if it makes you happy, then yeah, go ahead and do it. If it makes you happy. And when I say happy, I don't mean satisfy that itch that you can't stop yourself from doing it. It's more of a case of kind of going, I want to do that. You know, and that's where I think you're going to find a great deal of success in your life. Karmic path on your spiritual path, you get the 7 of Pentacles. Yes, it is about growing things, nurturing this community factor, this connection with the community that is around you. And it does come in with the 8 of Swords and the 6 of Wands on the collective. And this was all about freeing yourself up. And I think this is what you got to nurture it. It's almost as if like this karmic message is being like the lotus flower and opening one petal after the other, rather than just kind of going bing all at once. And it's nurturing it and enjoying that sort of process of gradually opening something. It's like Christmas. You know, the majority of the time, the greatest pleasure is unwrapping the presents, isn't it? You know, that's the main thing that sort of like speaks to us. My dog's just sort of saying hello. Cody's just saying hello. So yeah, this is all about that nurturing thing. And that process of freeing ourselves up towards our greatest success in our collective is done on a gradual process for you. Okay. Afterwards, well, then we have the first 5 years, second 5 years, third 5 years, fourth 5 years. So that's 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20 years of the transition of Pluto through Aquarius. Okay. On the collective, we had the Emperor card and the death and rebirth. This whole new cycle. And I really do believe this is signifying the going into the age of Aquarius now. This year more than any year. And there's going to be lots and lots of changes. Whole new way of doing things. And you get the King of Wands. Yeah, I think you're going to be really excited about this. I think you're going to feel that you have a definite role to play, spiritual and emotional role to play in the transformation of society. And it's almost as if like you're the majorette, you know, the major. You know, you're walking along with your baton, sort of like giving, you know, leading the charge in a way. That's what it feels like here. And I think all this new stuff is really stimulating for you in the world. And I think it's going to make you feel very happy, very vibrant, very passionate. It's going to be very sociable as well. And but it does allow you as well to, it plays into your cards, basically. So you feel this is the encouragement of the empowerment within you. Okay? With the 6 of Cups and 9 of Wands, planning that goes in with it. It's interesting you're getting Wands here on this side here. Very, very passionate about it, about life. I think with this new cycle here, I think you're starting to realise, because it comes up with the 9 of Cups and the 6 of Cups on the collective, okay? And I think you're starting to realise here that actually there's so many good things going on in this new cycle. This is going between 2029 and 2034. That you will feel like you've got the world at your feet. And it's going to need planning and projection within your relationships. It makes for, it ties in as well to this 4 of Wands here. And this could well be, these 2 Wands here, could well be that 2 of Wands on one side, which is meeting another person, 2 of Wands on the other. So it could have something to do with you getting married and so forth. But it's planning it, it's approaching it in the right way, putting things in the right order, which I think you will enjoy as well. Over those years there, it's developing the ideas, developing the connection between you and the collective, and also for the collective to get to its objectives, basically. And you are intricate in this. It feels like you're sort of you're moving the planning on, sort of kind of going, come on, now we got to do, now we got to do, now we got to do, now we got to do. And, you know, you're encouraging people to do, and they will do, and it's for you to follow afterwards. So therefore, the planning is very important for you, okay? And then we get into the next section here, is that once these gifts come to the surface and you've made those sort of plans going forward, the collective then sort of realizes the path that they've got to go on, and they can start manifesting those beautiful opportunities collectively by sticking to the path. And this is a little bit regimental, so it's a little bit imposing in a way. That's how I feel for you. And this is where we do come back to that idea of that whole sort of, you know, responsibility with the empowerment that it gives within you. You shouldn't really fight against it. It's not the moment to get involved in too many conflicts, really, because it's just going to sort of distract you from what you should be doing. Yeah, this is where you should be really falling in love. And I think it ties beautifully, really good for relationships in a very passionate way, with this two of Wands and the King of Wands. And it's all about nurturing a really good future for you. And it seems to be coming to fruition in this section here between 29 and 34. No, between 34 and 39, sorry. In the next sort of 15 years, you're gonna really love your spiritual path, your position that you've taken, the engagement that you've made in life. The engagement maybe with someone else, but it will also work beautifully for your relationships that are around you, and make you feel at one with yourself and in love with life, in love with your spiritual path, which is ultimately, it's a bit like that idea of, you know, being positive about things. I try to be realistic. So yeah, I may put a bit of a positive spin on things occasionally, but I don't try to labour it. I prefer to be a little bit more sort of realistic about it, the whole sort of thing. And here is, you know, you've got this sort of realism in it, with it all. And as you sort of like start realising and falling in love with life, it's that positive edge, as it were, that's going to allow that Wheel of Fortune and that Three of Cups, which is what comes at the end of it, is the real unification of the human being, regardless of where you are in the world and what you are and who you are like and whatever, you know what I mean? It is a real coming together. And it feels like you're enjoying this crescendo in life. Two of Swords. When the wheel is in motion and fortune starts flowing, and then the collective starts coming together, and it's almost as if like with the Two of Swords here, it's like you've made a decision, and it's like job done. I've done my job. I've done my bit. You know, I've done what I was supposed to do. Now it's time to move on to something else. And that's where the Wheel of Fortune and the collective and the sociable aspect of the world, which will be in between 39 and 44, is because you're going to be a leader in all of that. Because you're going to be out the gate the first. You're going to be the first out the gate. It's going to really play beautifully for you, I think. Because it's governed by happiness as well. And it's unifying your happiness and your contentment with living in the world with other people who may not necessarily agree with you, or, you know, who may not necessarily have exactly the same points of view as you, but you're going to feel very happy about what you're doing and where you're going. On the material side, you get the Knight of Wands. This is really good as well. King of Wands down there. Now you get the Knight of Wands. This, in the collective, we have the Ten of Wands and the Four of Swords. Letting go of things and regrouping into the home life, as it were, into the collective. Here is like, you want it to go quicker than the music here. And I think this is where it's good for you to do that. It's good for you to encourage things to go, come on then, let's change, let's get it on, let's go. And being that sort of, being that driving force behind it all. But it's also good to recognize of when to take your foot off the accelerator. And this is very passionate, but it's very rhythmical. And being constant is really important. And sometimes that's difficult for you, Virgo, to be constant all the way through. You can be an excessive amount of enthusiasm, energy and stuff like that. And then there is moments where you kind of go, no, don't want to part of it. No, don't want to know, sort of thing. And here is starting to learn a bit of consistency within you. A very passionate consistency, and it's still not, it's not sitting back and, twiddling your thumbs. You're getting on and doing. There is no doubt about it. Yeah, look at that. Once the society realizes that there is certain boundaries, and this gives you the context of your success within your financial world and your business and your projects in the first 5 years, because you're going to be it seems like it's going to be easy for you, that things are in alignment with what you are or who you are. And this is going to bring you a lot of success. And as I said, with the sun there, it's going to shine a light on you. And I think this starts happening certainly on your financial side. Because we've got the Nine of Wands, Ten of Cups, and the Knight of Swords going on a mission here. And I think this mission is going to suit you down to the ground. I think the world around you is going to suit you a lot more to advance your projects, your career path, your business and everything like that in a very, very good way, because society is setting certain boundaries. And once you know those boundaries, you can play those boundaries to give you benefit, basically. And you seem to be very, very good at that. Very good indeed. With the next up, you get the Three of Cups with the King of Cups and the Eight of Swords, Eight of Wands. This is through a control over the emotions, and that's because of those boundaries that have been put in place in the collective. There's a certain wisdom, a certain well-being about the environmental energy within business, within jobs, within the material world, that gives us a real focal point. And it's almost as if like collectively we understand the message. And the message for you is encouraging that happiness to bring through into your material world. This is going from the 29th to the 34th, 29th of 2029 to the 2034. This brings in a lot of sort of sociable networking sort of aspects to your life, within your life. And it's very fun, very enjoyable for you. Very, very enjoyable for you. And I think that enjoyable vibration helps you to progress even further. And you get the King of Cups. This is this spirit of what you're bringing to this new mission here. And it comes up with the King of Cups comes up with the Knight of Swords and the Nine of Cups. So you have this, you seem to have understood this message beautifully that's going on in the world around you. And it brings you to a point where the collective is going on a mission and you are surfing the wave. You don't even need to go off on that mission. It's the mission that's pushing you through. And it's because you've done a lot of work underneath the surface and you feel at one with yourself. It's real plain sailing for you. And this increases that sensation of empowerment for you. And then you get the Queen of Swords at the top, which ties in with the Wheel of Fortune and the Devil card as well. The This gives you a clear direction. The Queen of Swords, she has it's like she has wisdom and judgment over her emotions in order to get things done and choosing a direction. And I think it also ties in with your spiritual path with the Two of Swords. You're choosing a direction. And with the detail, the devil's in the detail. And that's what we get in the collective with the Wheel of Fortune. If we concentrate on the detail, it's going to change the evolutionary process of the humans, of our collective, in a great, in a very exponential sort of way. And I think this ties into you beautifully to take that direction and follow it all the way through. We're just doing a bit of clarification with the Light Seers card. Thank you very much for being here with us. I really do appreciate it. Hope you get the best out of these readings. I really do. Right, let's just see what's going on with that. The overall energy there. Six of Wands. Excuse me. You've now got the 3 Six of Wands here. You got it once on your karmic mission, on your spiritual and emotional path. You've got it in the first 5 years of your material path, and here it comes into that overall energy. Look what you have on the overall energy actually for you. You know, I think that sums you up. It almost makes you famous in a way. And I think the overall energy is trying to encourage that. In trying to encourage you to actually be the source of source and inspiration. So let's see what's going on your karmic message for your spiritual path. You get the Ace of Wands. That ties in really nicely with the King of Wands, the Two of Wands there as well. I think because of this new vibration, because of this new setting for you, and this much more feeling at one with the world around you, this is bringing in a new passion for you. Out with the old and in with the new for you. You're quite happy to see Pluto come out of Capricorn as well, being an earth sign as well. And you're nurturing these new opportunities here, this whole new cycle. And I think it makes you incredibly passionate about where you're going. It gives you a real focus on the pathway for you, and allows you to get really passionate about things without having the fear of it all sort of going falling on the ground, as it were. Okay, within the first 5 years, King of Wands, you get the Three of Swords. You'd love to take everybody with you. You'd love everybody to be multi-millionaires. But if everyone was multi-millionaires, everyone would be poor. It's the same thing. There's no value in it anymore. And I think this is what you've got to realise here, is with this new cycle here, if you really want to engage in it, if you really want to own it, you've got to realise that you've got to stop. This is where responsibility comes in with the great empowerment. You've got to stop yourself from being taken for a ride. Emotionally, spiritually, and everything like that. And I think this is almost as if like you taking power of your situation and your direction will eliminate that within your life. And I think that's what this whole new cycle's about for you. Eliminating any painful experiences from the past and it going forward with it being incredibly light and joyous. Light and joyous with the Two of Wands, planning for your future. Yeah, I think there's a major love series coming on here for you. With the Two of Wands and the Lovers card. You've got the Lovers twice now in this section here. And I believe the whole way through, there's a lot tied into marriage. It could be a really good 10 years for your marriage, for your couple, for your love, that sort of thing. There's also, this planning as well within the collective as well. And it helps you to channel or organise or get passionate about this future pathway which you're going on. And then you get the Two of Swords with the Lovers card. They're following it. Like the undercurrent is following you as you go. And once you fall in love, you know that there's going to be a decision that you need to make. You can't take everybody with you, as it were. And I think this is where, you falling in love with someone, it may be a situation, and this is quite late on, so we're looking at 34 to 39, 2034 to 2039. There is a decision that comes out of this love and unification that you're finding not only within your life, within your spiritual path, and I think this ties more to that than anything else, that you've got to make a decision about being responsible about how you put your passions into things and not allowing yourself to get pulled off from that lover's connection. And it's a decision that you've got to make, basically, and a pathway that you need to follow. And with the Two of Swords, which ties in with the the Wheel of Fortune and the Three of Cups on the collective, you make this decision and you get your just desserts. You find you have reason and it was a good choice. And this is what turns you into a leader in your life and in the life that is around you. All of a sudden, you're really, you're really stepping into your power. You're going to find that a lot more, because I think you might be choosing not to experience that anymore in your life. It's a real pivotal moment, karmic moment, life-changing moment that comes into it. Let's just see what's going on the material side. With the Knight of Wands, you get the Devil card. Devil's right at the top there. This is your karmic path. So I think you've got to be passionate about this change. You're passionate about this new way of doing finances, a new financial system, which we talked about in the collective, and also the new way of doing business, putting a different sort of value on your time, money, richness in life, and getting into that detail. And that passion is going to prove to you the finer details, and you'll be very good at this, the finer details that you need to get into in order to get the best out of life. In order to not only get the best for you, but also to get the best for the company you're working for, or the community that you're living in, the projects that you're doing. And it's going towards projects that really fire you up. But you've got to be attentive to the detail, and you're very good at that. With the Six of Wands, you get the Ten of Swords. I think this is saying goodbye to that difficulty. It's difficult. It's happiness after difficulty that came in there, and going on a mission. And it seems like you're saying goodbye to something. I almost feel like it's like you've sacrificed your own personal success in the past for others. And this is where you're going to realize that your success is actually better for the world that is around you. If you really want to help the world that is around you, your success is really important to get into. So you can let go of that idea, kind of saying, well, if I get success, I am not really helping out. It's very egotistical. No, not at all. When you are in a good place, everybody else can be in a good place. That's how it works. They can be. They may not be. But then they are part of that choice as well. With the Three of Cups, you get the Ten of Pentacles. I think this realization here in these first 5 years, you're going to realize a great deal of things. And you're going to start getting into that whole sort of networking, socializing, making a company that's much more sort of geared towards the greater good, as it were. So that actually works to change things, to develop things in the world. And it brings in a huge amounts of abundance of meeting people and opportunities, not just for you, but also for the world that is around you. And I think you feel very comfortable about that. And it's when the world gets that moment of pause, that moment of plain sailing, and we get that clarity, collective clarity that gives us a direction, it's going to make you very, very abundant, because you've got that networking, sociable skills, and being happy as well with that sun card there. And yeah, this mission is going to come in quickly. Look at that. King of Cups with the Chariot card. The world is going on a mission, and I can only foresee you sort of saying, I'm at ease with this. I'm loving this. But I wanted to go even faster. I just wanted to go quicker. I wanted to go further. I wanted to go further. And there's a lot of excitement that comes in with this Chariot card as things really start moving into areas that, you know, you can only dream of in your life. And all of a sudden there's a real direction for you, but it's taking it, and you're taking it in your stride. You really are taking it in your stride. And this is what gives you that Wheel of Fortune and that wisdom that you'll find in the Queen of Swords. And you really sit in a beautiful position where your wisdom and help for the collective becomes very, very, very beneficial. And then you get the Moon card. This direction of the Queen of Swords having a control over her emotions and having that sort of direction and taking on that direction is going to bring things to the surface within you. And I think this comes in with this. I think it ties into that more than anything else. The six of Wands. I think this is going to create a scenario that brings in such empowerment within your life that you're not gonna, you've never really experienced it before. And I think this is where you are going to, it's gonna try you a lot of things. And this is why you need a control over your emotions, because it's going to bring those sort of emotions to the surface that are going to tempt you and stuff like that. And I think you need to be very aware of that. It's going to help you enormously, but you need to be aware of it. There you go, Virgo. Thank you very much for being here. Really do appreciate your support for this channel. In whichever way you give the support, it's absolutely beautiful. I will see you soon. In the meantime, don't forget, life should be fun, so please do enjoy.